this is not talked about, and it's something that I think is so remarkable. First of all, you learning Chinese has been talked about, right? You learn this incredibly difficult language. I want to ask you first, why?
Mm-hmm.
And second of all, you then go to China
Mm-hmm.
and you shoot a movie with Jackie Chan.
Mm-hmm.
And you only speak Chinese. Like you said, when you first got there, there was a little bit of English, but then it had to all be in Chinese. You had to challenge yourself mentally and physically in ways you never had before. And you were there for months.
Yeah, about 8 months.
8 months, almost a year. I mean, that's a risk, right? That's putting yourself out there. I mean, what compelled you to do that? How did you get there? And again, what was like your greatest takeaway?
So thank you for the question. The incredible thing is the takeaway is a very important lesson. So why did I learn Chinese? Because the WWE rolled out a talent-friendly initiative in around 2012 where they set us all in like an assembly hall, and every paid talent was told, like, we will help you with secondary education. We will help you get a college degree. We will get you second languages for free. We will get you financial advice. We will make sure you're seen by the best medical professionals. And I am sitting in the front row going, these motherfuckers don't need to do any of this. These guys don't know how good they got it. I'm going to raise my hand, stand up, and address this group and say, you motherfuckers better do this stuff. And halfway through, I'm like, nope, I'm just going to do it. And I looked at our map at the time, and the only hotspot we didn't have was China. We had never been there. They didn't understand us. And part of my why of being a WWE superstar, I wasn't keeping track of championships or anything like that. I wanted to leave the business better than I found it. And that was like young age stuff of like, leave this place better than you found it. In a quest to do that, man, if I can open up this territory, I'm leaving it better than when I found it. So, start studying. WWE gets me a tutor. They come to my house on my days off. Study for years on my off days, a couple hours at a time, taking Chinese class. It's a slog.
It's a very difficult language.
It's tough. We get to go to Shanghai for the World Expo. I got to do a partnership speech in Chinese in Shanghai to announce a partnership in WWE in China. I can remember, it was probably sounded like third grader Chinese, but I can remember the moment of seeing the people take off their translator headsets.
Wow.
And I'm like, man, this might work. And it did for a short period of time, but then it didn't. We still don't have a presence there. It's a different cultural gap.
It's a different time right now in the world as well.
Sure, all that stuff, that's going to come into play later on in the story. But then I'm like, oh man, I've wasted all this time. And then I got a phone call from Jackie Chan's people. Jackie was supposed to do a movie with Sylvester Stallone. Jackie saw that press conference and was like, who's this kid? Put him in this movie. And I got a call saying like, hey, you can work with Jackie Chan, who's one of the greatest physical storytellers of our generation. He's like the Charlie Chaplin.
He's amazing.
It's going to involve you living in China. And I'm like, man, this will be great. I can go work on my Chinese. I get to do a movie with one of the greats. It's going to be fantastic. And I'll be the throw people guy, and he'll be the stunty guy. And the reason I was there for so long is because sometimes they shift production in China without telling you. And I got there in like May, and we were supposed to shoot in the second week of May, and they moved the shoot to September, and they didn't want me to go home. So I got to be part of the Jackie Chan stunt family for a few months, and we worked out twice a day for 4.5 hours a session, and it was all the stuff that I hate. I like this stuff, but it was all like parkour and flexibility, martial arts, boxing.
What was is there a story of some disaster that befell you, or like parkour,
No.
you tried to run up a wall?
No, they were good about like walk out of here. That's the goal. Make sure you walk out, but we are going to break you down. And I think the humiliating things are like, for the flexibility stuff, I wasn't exactly flexible. They would have like one person grab my front leg, one person grab my rear leg, two dudes under each arm, and be like, in Chinese, they would say "feng-song," which is relax, 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 and they would just move you. I'm like, ah, no, 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 no. It was great meditation, but it was the first time I had ever been soaked in sweat from stretching. And that was like the warm-up. And then we started to work, and all that activity, which I certainly wasn't used to, I dropped a ton of weight, and I also dropped a ton of strength. I went to China at like 255 pounds. I came back about 235 pounds. And that's kind of where I'm living now. I feel great. I was telling you, I was taller.
Yeah.
I could move better. I was healthier. So a great experience, but here's the biggest takeaway. So I lived there. My language was getting better. I wanted to set another goal for myself. Fast and Furious comes around. And I'm like, oh, we're doing international media. I'm going to do 70% of my media in Chinese, in Mandarin. No problem. They set me up on a publicity day like this, where I'm just doing outlets, 60 outlets. I did 40 of them in Mandarin. And then they had me do prompter reads. And I fucked up big. And just reading what was on the prompter. I didn't check myself. I just got in a steady state of flow. I'm like, man, I can read this. This is great. And I said some things that offended a whole lot of people. And the trickle-down effect of that was then I had to apologize, and that offended a whole bunch more people.
Kind of a no-win.
Holy fuck.
Yeah.
And
a big no-win.
Yes. So I behaved outside of my values. Just
because you were just reading.
I wasn't present.
You weren't present.
And because I got stuck to a goal, I didn't look at the nuance of the goal, and in turn offended a whole lot of people. But that's actually been a great takeaway for me, because the takeaway I had was, just because you know the language doesn't mean you know the culture. And there is a huge difference between the two. And if you think you are ready to thrive in a culture because you know the language, you need to know the culture as well. And I spent so much time on the words and the language and not at all any time on the culture. And because I thought that I could just fit right in, I behaved outside of my values, offended everybody, and no one was happy. And it was a really tough situation. It's one of those growth through discomfort. I felt like the whole world is talking about me and feeling a certain way, and this is like, this is not who I am. But I understand why you feel that way, and I can't really argue this with you. And it was tough. It was tough. I remember I was shooting Peacemaker season 1 at the time. And I walked into James Gunn. I'm like, if you gotta let me go, I understand. James Gunn, who has been canceled before, looked at me. He's like, are you fucking kidding me? You ready to get to work? Let's go. And he was the voice I needed at that time to be like, you will get through this. Time vindicates good work. And this was a slip up. It is not who you are. Did you learn something from this? Cool. That's a good lesson going forward. Learn to be more present. Learn to understand what you're reading. Learn that just because you know the language doesn't mean you know the culture. And respect to all cultures is allowing the culture to do its thing. And if you want to hop in that pool, you got to be accountable. I thought I could just breeze in, speak my thing, and not be accountable for anything I said just because I'm speaking the language. That's not fair. And that, what a great question for you to bring up, because that's the best takeaway I got from that. And it was like one of the big missteps I've had, and something that I carried a shame for a long time. And then finally got to the point of it is not who you are. The people who know you. The people who want to skewer you over this, you are never going to change their mind, pal. Just do the best you can every day to do the best you can. And that's my takeaway to that. And it was awesome to go through, to eat that plate of shit.
Because there's a lesson in everything if you want to learn it.
But boy, and right in that moment, could I blame the person that did the teleprompter?
Sure,
could I blame the publicist? Could I blame the studio? Could I blame anybody in the room for being like, why the fuck didn't you have my back? Nope. My fault. What did I learn? What can I do better? Mm-hmm. And by the way, I'm getting another chance. And not like, okay, you have another chance to be exactly where you are. I mean another chance by like, eyes are open, still alive, still in the game.
Yep.
Let's see what cards we got to play. All right, let's go.
And don't let it destroy you. Because that shame.
Man.
Right? Man.
It's okay to put your toe in the pool. You just can't get stuck in there.
Right. You got to pull yourself out.
Yes.
And learn. Right? Because that is learning, is moving forward.
Like China was huge for that. I just got out over my skis and I got right crossed when I needed it to. And it was awesome because like so much stuff was going good. And it was like, man, you got to be accountable for everything.